this morning. The word of the Lord from 2 Peter. The word of the Lord from 2 Peter. The word of the Lord from 2 Peter chapter 1. 2 Peter chapter 1. Beginning at verse 3. According as his divine power hath given unto us all things that pertain unto life and godliness, through the knowledge of him that called us, listen to this, to glory and virtue, whereby are given unto us exceeding great and precious promises, that by these you might be partakers of the divine nature, having escaped corruption that is in the world through lust. And beside this, giving all diligence, add to your faith virtue, and to virtue knowledge, and to knowledge temperance, and to temperance patience, and to patience godliness, and to godliness brotherly kindness, and to brotherly kindness charity. Look at somebody and help me preach this subject. Tell them thanks for being a friend. Thanks for being a friend. How many of you thought of the Golden Girls? No, come on. How many of you thought of the Golden Girls? No. Anybody know the Golden Girls?
Amen.
Where's brother Donald? Where's he at? Okay, have a seat. Man, you just blew my little, come on. Thanks for being a friend. In 2009, in this first Sunday, the first message of the new year, one thing that stands out in prayer time for our church, with all of our grand plans, with all of our wonderful goals, with all that God is going to do, is these two words that will embody and will cause us to complete everything in our personal life, our professional life, our ministry life. Two words. Say it with me. Moral excellence. God is calling us to moral excellence. Notice this is not about your spiritual fervor and all that you are holy. It's your morality. Thank you so much. One of the things that I want to share with you is I was at two funerals yesterday, and it really shaped what I decided to talk about. Two funerals back to back. And I'm going to say some things that may be uncomfortable for some of you, and I don't mean to make you uncomfortable, but if in the truth of my own observation there is a level of discomfort, then I don't apologize for you being uncomfortable as much as I want you to garner what I am trying to convey. Two funerals of two different people from two different cultures, from two different backgrounds, from two different races. Two different expressions. While they were similar, they were different in their own uniqueness and the expression of of how they grieved, how they celebrated, and how they related. It was interesting because one of my mentors passed away. In Elma, New York, there was an 80-year-old gentleman who used to come to our church on Friday nights. His name was Fred Nadel. Fred Nadel was a wonderful, wonderful man of God. He was full of life. He was a constant encourager. This is how Fred Nadel would talk to you. He'd say, how you doing? You want to talk about Jesus, or you want to wait 10 minutes to talk about Jesus? You ask Fred, how's he doing? He says, I've never had a bad day in my life. It's just some days were better than others, but I've never had a bad one. Every time you got around Fred Nadel would raise your sense of awe about God. because he was so encouraging. People loved to be in his presence. I met Fred Nadel in clergy prayer, and he knew the Bible. This man, this unassuming man in Elma, New York, who pastors my father's house, his heart was given to missions. He started a hospital in India. And there was the focus of his mission life. Started a hospital. The hospital was thriving today. Started several churches. In American terms, Fred would be a bishop. He would be something because he's got all these churches in India. He's got people that sown into him. He not only is it India, he recently started a mission in Israel, because he has a heart for the Jewish people. He has a heart for the Bible, and he has a heart for everybody. He would always tell me, he says, "You're my son." And he says, "Yes, you're my son, because I don't know the difference between you or me. Doesn't matter that you're black and I'm white." He says, "I'm colorblind, so is God." Fred, and he passed away. And what's interesting is when he passed away, Elder Jackson, I sat there, and JB was with me, Pastor Lowe, and JB and I talked about it last night. We must have held back tears 3, 4, 5 times during the service. We held back tears because it was so moving to have his friends